No one thinks they're going to get hurt at work, especially you. That's what I told myself every single day. I pulled up to my warehouse job that made magnesium. I worked there every single summer, and I would band the metal with this banding unit. It was a pretty scary device. A lot of power, and it pulled the metal together, thousands of pounds at a time. One day when I went in, the bander was having some issues, and I'd push the button and it would kind of lose some air, wouldn't band all the way, and sometimes it would pop out of the clip. So I went over to my manager and he said, "Hey, this thing isn't working, what do I do?" He's like, "Look, I'm too busy right now, and plus I don't need any more problems, get back to work." And I was kind of scared of this guy, he was pretty intimidating. So I went back to my job and I started banding metal again, it'd pop out of the clip again, and I thought, this isn't right, this doesn't seem right. But in my head the whole time I remember thinking, I'm not going to get hurt though. I'm not a person that gets hurt. That's not how I identify myself. I'm not a person that gets hurt. And the next pallet comes up and I put the banding around it and I got it to work at this point and I'm pushing the button down, starts banding the metal, and then it starts making a weird sound. All of a sudden it pops. And I'm standing there and I'm like, that's strange. I look at the clip and the metal had not popped out of the clip this time. This time it had flipped over the pallet and it was laying on the ground and it was torn on the edge. I'm looking at the metal on the ground, looking at the pallet, looking at the bander, and then I start feeling numbness in my face, and I think, that's strange, and I see a scratch on my safety glasses. So I pull them off, they're not cut, so I think, oh, close call, but PPE saved me this time. And then I notice the numbness starts to tingle, and as I'm looking down, a red drop of blood falls and splats right in front of me. I knew something had happened. Took my gloves off, started to reach up and feel my face, and my finger went into my face, into my mouth. My nose was hanging on just by my nostrils. The banding had cut through my face and flung out the other side. I pushed my nose up and held it on, and then immediately some people come over, including my manager. He said, "Jordan, what do you think you're doing getting hurt in my warehouse?" And I said, "I don't know, I didn't try to get hurt." Then I went down to the ER, took the whole rest of the day. I had to have a plastic surgeon sew my nose back on, and while he was sewing it on, he said, "You were about 2 inches away from death. If you were looking up instead of down, you would have died." Every time you go into work and you think, I'm not going to get hurt, is the day you could definitely get hurt. Safety is not just about being safe, it's about thinking about other people around you. My manager wasn't thinking about my well-being, he was thinking about his well-being and his needs. And I was thinking about my needs of keeping my job and staying safe, staying employed. As you work with people, remember that their safety is dependent a lot of the times on you.